Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset video, guide, analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about Shiinotic. Now before we get into this moveset video, I just want to say there's a playlist down below. I encourage you to check that out if you missed any of my previous moveset videos. Also, I encourage you to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. Now, Shiinotic is a very interesting Pokemon. Being grass and fairy comes with a lot of resistances. Fighting, ground, water, grass, electric, and dark. An immunity to dragon, and then its only weaknesses are flying, poison, steel, fire, and ice. Now, Shiinotic has some cool things going for it, obviously having access to Spore in its move pool and the new move Strength Sap, which I will be talking about. But I do want to say it does have extremely low base HP. If it had around Amungus's HP, it would be bulkier than Amoongus, just based on its stats. And it would be a lot better in taking hits. But there are a few sets, because RU has become a tier, or is becoming a tier. It's a lot easier to make some move sets with this. I actually struggled earlier on in the generation to make a move set for OU that I wanted that could take on Mega Gyarados plus Kingdra and Rain. So the first set that we have is the Special Defensive set. Now this set is to be used in RU. You can use it in any tier, but it's mainly for the RU tier. And the idea of this set is to be able to take a Life Orb Hydro Pump plus a Life Orb Ice Beam in the rain, well, obviously Hydro Pump in the rain, from Ludicolo. This set also allows you to take on Absol, Pokemon like Heracross in the tier. I'll show you a few calcs in a bit, but the set is Spore, Moonblast, Giga Drain, and then the other move is either Strength Sap. Strength Sap, I mentioned, is a new move this generation. It's extremely cool. Basically, it attacks your opponent, right? You heal the amount of HP that's equal to their attack stat. So let's say you're attacking a Metagross. Or let's not give Metagross. Let's give okay, fine, let's give Metagross, because I know its attack off the top of my head. It's 405 attack, right? Let's say you're attacking a Metagross, right? If you go for Strength Sap versus that, you'll recover 405 HP. And because Shiinotic has base 60 HP very low, you're basically getting all the way back up to full. And you also drop your opponent's stat by 1. Their attack stat by 1. Obviously, it doesn't work on a clear body mon like Metagross, but it does lower the attack stat by 1. However, as you keep using that, it takes into account that attack stat. So you'll recover less and less every single time you drop. But the idea of this set is to allow it to 1v1 Pokemon such as, or not even 1v1, but Spore Pokemon, and then Strength Sap them to get all the way back. Unfortunately, because unlike Amoongus, it doesn't have Regenerator, its only abilities are Effect Spore, that's competitive, and Rain Dish. Effect Spore, every single time your opponent makes contact, 30% chance to either poison, paralyze, or sleep them. Or Rain Dish, if Rain is up, you're recovering a bit of your HP every single turn. Now, Thunder Wave is also an option, because this set, like I said, can take on rain teams. So you can cripple Ludicolo with Thunder Wave. And then Giga Drain, of course, is your main form of stab, being able to deal with bulky grounds and bulky waters, as well as bulky or just rock types in general. Now, it really is up to you whether you want to use Thunder Wave or Giga Drain. If you're using Thunder Wave, I would say use it more for if your team is weak to rain, and then you can switch up Effect Spore to Rain Dish. This will also help giving you a bit more recovery. I do like Strength Sap though. I like the ability to not only get -1 off of my opponent's attack, but also recover almost all my HP depending on their attack stat. Now, just a few calcs I wanted to show you. The idea of the specially defensive set is to be able to take on Pokemon like Life Orb Jolteon. Life Orb Jolteon's HP Ice does not 2-hit KO you. It does 36 to 43%. Likewise, Specs doesn't 2-hit KO you either. It's a guaranteed 3-hit KO on you. This set can take on +2 Lucario as long as it's not packing Ice Punch. And because Slowbro is in the tier, I think Crunch is a lot more viable right now. But you can take +2 Close Combat, 83 to 97%, put it to sleep, Strength Sap all your HP back while also giving them -1 attack, rinse, repeat. This spread allows you to also take on Absol. This is a +2 Absol, +2 Mega Absol, 399 attack. Knockoff does 58 to 69% if you have your item. Sucker Punch does less than half, or about half. And Super Power at +2. It doesn't 2-hit KO. It says a chance to 2-hit KO, but no, they're losing their attack. So yeah, you're completely fine. You eat up the attack that they can do, and you knock them out with Moonblast. So that's what a special defensive set can take. And I already mentioned that it can take a Life Orb Hydro Pump plus a Life Orb Ice Beam from Ludicolo, and that's running Thunder Wave. Now, physically defensive is a bit different. Physically defensive is more so if you are weaker to ground type attacks like Rhyperior. This thing can take on Tank Rhyperior. Earthquake does 20 to 24%, whereas Stone Edge does 41 to 49%. You Spore it, you Strength Slap all your HP back. You can Giga Drain it for 60 to 71% on Rhyperior. This can also tank hits from Heracross better, from Mienshao better, as long as Mienshao's not running Poison Jab. It can even eat up attack from Defensive Arcanine. Defensive Arcanine's Flare Blitz does not knock it out. Max attack Adamant Metagross. The damage calc is, I believe, 85 to 100%, so you do have a chance to live that. Strength Sap is definitely better on a physically defensive set because you're designed to take on physical attackers, and Strength Sap obviously lowers their attack by 1 while also giving you recovery. But besides that, it's just dual stab plus Spore plus Strength Sap. Now, it does have access to Leech Seed. This Pokemon has a very wide support move pool. I really like it. Spore, Strength Sap, Thunder Wave, Leech Seed, Toxic, things like that. So Leech Seed can be used on these special defensive sets. This is helpful to wear down Pokemon like Crobat switching in, regardless if they go for Brave Bird or you turn out of there. But also helping you 1v1 bulky waters like Milotic better, as you can Leech Seed them, Giga Drain back, put them to sleep, get recovery from them, cancel out their leftovers. Moonblast, again, is your main stab alongside Giga Drain, but this set is just using Leech Seed over Strength Sap. And again, it just allows you to wear down Pokemon that might want to switch in on you, like after you put a Pokemon to sleep. For example, a Fire type might want to switch in. You can get off a Leech Seed on them, get a little bit of recovery, pair it with maybe a Dawn Fan, and I'll talk about partners in a bit, but Dawn Fan is a pretty cool option as it can eat up the Fire type attacks coming out that are physical anyway, and then Leech Seed helps Dawn Fan recover since it has no recovery. Now, a few other options it does have. Hidden Power Fire can be used versus opposing Grass types, opposing Steel types. Same thing with Hidden Power Fighting for, again, Steel types, as well as pretty much just Steel types, because outside of that, that's the only thing that resists Moonblast and Giga Drain, the Steel types that can be coming in. So Hidden Power Fire, it's really weak though, and I think that Dual Stab is a lot better on Shiinotic, just because Grass and Fairy are both very solid stabs anyway. Grass Knot is a pretty cool option if you want to do more to Pokemon such as Suicune, Milotic. Sludge Bomb is also an option for opposing Fairy types, as well as opposing Ground types, but Grass types, excuse me, I don't know why I said Ground types, as well as opposing Grass types, but it also, you miss out on your moves, and I feel like double support is really good on Shiinotic, whether it be Spore Strength Sap or Spore Thunder Wave or Spore Leech Seed. I think that Spore is 100% necessary on Shiinotic. The 100% chance to put your opponent to sleep is amazing, and I already mentioned Rain Dish as an option if you are using the Spadef set, you're weaker to Rain. Alternatively, you could just go Max Spadef, Max Spadef, Max HP, but I do like a bit of defense to be able to eat up that, not eat up, but to be able to take that close combat from Lucario, which is in RU right now, which is disgustingly broken in RU right now, as well as to also take on Kabutops a bit better. You do live a Life Orb Stone Edge, and you can knock it out with Giga Drain. Be careful though, because Life Orb Waterfall, unfortunately, into Life Orb Stone Edge does knock you out. If Rain isn't up, no, but unfortunately it does. Otherwise, and a few team options. Entei and Darmanitan, very, very solid options. Fire types that really appreciate the ability to check bulky grounds and bulky waters, such as Rhyperior, such as Milotic, such as Suicune, even wearing them down with Leech Seed for something like Bandit Entei or Scarf Darmanitan to clean up. Likewise, Shiinotic appreciates the fact that Entei and Darmanitan do resist the fire type attacks coming at it, can take even the steel type attacks aimed at it. And again, Shiinotic can eat up the water type attacks aimed at Entei and Darmanitan. Milotic and Suicune, both very solid, bulky waters to pair with Shiinotic. They appreciate Spore on pretty much everything. They appreciate the fact that Shiinotic does take on Jolteon, a threat to both Milotic and Suicune, as well as resisting Grass, resisting Electric, that can come out on Milotic and Suicune. So basically taking on the attacks, and Milotic and Suicune also help take on the attacks coming off at Shiinotic, so super effective hits from ice types, maybe like Regice or just ice types in general. Milotic and Suicune can obviously take hits from, or not even just ice types, but Ice Beam coming out. And Donphan and Rhyperior provide Stealth Rock. They provide, they are providing, in Rhyperior's case, a resistance to fire type attacks that are aimed at Shiinotic. They provide rapid spin in Donphan's case, and they also appreciate leech seed if Shiinotic goes for that on like a fire type coming in. Rhyperior appreciates leech seed recovery coming off on Darmanitan's Flare Blitz, being able to switch into it, and also taking on Bulky Water's better just because Shiinotic pairs very well with Donphan and Rhyperior for that reason. No, it's a really interesting Pokemon. I really do wish that it had higher base HP, because if you compare it to Amoonguss, it has better defense and special defense. Base 80 defense, base 100 special defense, where this is base 70, base 80. But Amoonguss just has this high HP stat that allows it to eat up hits. If Shiinotic has this HP stat, it'd probably be used over Amoonguss. Though Grass Poison is really solid because obviously it cannot be toxic, which is pretty cool on a wall. So a few differences, but if Shiinotic had that high base HP, it'd be a lot better, man. I use this thing in OU a lot more, and I can actually get the spread that I wanted for Kingdra plus Gyarados. But in any case, guys, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys all learned something. Feel free, of course, to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. I'm using this mon in a showcase later today. I encourage you to check that out, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.